Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new Share Your Minis. This is going to be a video where I will go through the miniatures that the people have shared in the Facebook community. It's a community that you can find the link in the description of this video, and where you can share your miniatures. And then once a month, I go through all the miniatures I shared here in the channel. I give my comments if you want. And if there is anything that you would like that I put more emphasis, I can do it as well. So the intention is to share, to use my channel also to share the work of other people, to share what the community can do, and as well to share with all of you, and to it's a way to not to me, just for me. I'm just trying to see. Yeah, I don't. Just one moment. I'm trying to put this in a way I can see the info. So I try to have also my phone in case there is something in the chat, because it's as I am alone doing that, I have to switch from one screen to the other. So what I will do is I will share my screen, and I will go through the Facebook group, and there you can be able to see, or you will be able to see the page of the people. So let's start with the screen share. I will share. I hope this time I do it well. Sometimes I will hide my conversations at this moment. And yeah, and this we start with the showcase in Feb. So I hope you can see this well. I also here, in case you want to drop any question, you can do it here in the chat. And from time to time, I will look the chat to see if there is any question that you have made to me. So let's go back to the Facebook group, and we start with Erzan Jovanovic. I don't know if this was shared in the previous one, but I think even if it was shared in my previous video, I think it's worth it to make another look. So this is a very nice painted and Death Guard Dreadnought. I don't know what the Dreadnought pattern is this one. I don't know if it's plain here. Yeah, no, okay. But as you can see, there is a lot of weathering, and the base very muddy. I guess he used some gloss varnish or gloss paints to make this muddy look like. I like even this looks like translucent brown, so it looks like it's very wet, humid. The base is really good, and then everything matches together, right? We have this white, quite dirty. We have a lot of chip paint. I guess he's using the technique of the sponge to do a lot of this chipping plus brush. And then on the greens, we also have a nice weathering. So everything, the cannons are also the muzzles of the cannons, they look brownish as they have been heated by the bullets. Sorry, and yeah, everything looks very nicely painted. We can see from different angles from the top. You see, especially, and the thing that's important is the weathering will be more prominent on the edges. So you can see he's adding weathering randomly, but he's putting more emphasis on the edges. Here as well, some dirtiness, so it's really nicely done. I think it's really worth to make a look to this job, and yeah, and I really enjoy looking the work from Erzan Jovanovic, or also known as Grumpy Guyman. Sorry, you can follow him, Grumpy Gaming. Sorry, Grumpy Guy Gaming. You can follow his channel as well. He's doing some unboxings and some other videos where he's sharing his hobby. So if you want to follow him as well in YouTube, you can follow him. But very nicely, very nice, and it's a very nice way to start the showcase of the viewers. So let's go to the next one, and this is also from Erzan Jovanovic, and this is the new piece of terrain for the goblins. I guess he did here more dry brushing. When you want to do rocks and all this type of stuff, you do a lot of dry brushing. So normally, if you have this piece, you do the moon, you do the rocks, okay, all dry brushing. It can be quite fast, and then you start working on the details. Nicely combination of purplish mushrooms with red mushrooms and then some blue. So very, very lightful, a lot of mushrooms everywhere, and very glowing as well. Pay attention on the glowing of the on the eyes of the moon. Even this thing, it's very nice. You see the striations here are very well done. So really nice job. And for a piece of terrain is an excellent job. So he even add, we can see here, I've missed this the first time I look at this. He had some plants or some turfs here around the mushrooms. So really very well done. A nice combination of mushrooms colors, but without being too much, without overdoing. The purple is the driving one, and then we have reds and blues. The blues are the minority. So really nicely done, and yeah, for a piece of terrain is more than what is needed. Okay, so really nice looking terrain. Go to the next one. And again, we have Erzan. Erzan is sharing a lot of work, and he's doing a lot of these Adeptus Titanicus Titans. Okay, these are river. We have he's doing more than he have done some with this type of glossy satin, red and black. I think it's a very nice combination. But you do a clean job does not mean that you cannot do weathering. You see these very nicely put spots that you can think it's a small impact he had received or something like that. The metallics, some weathering like rusting. So give the sensation that he's operative, but he's been operative for a long time. So this is why he's having weathered. The weapon have been used. You can see that it's there is some burning, and here it's darker, and then it's in this great color grading that makes it look that is have been in use. And then I don't know if this is coming with the decals or if it's done in purpose, but you see that they look excellent, very well integrated, these decals. Okay, so there is not the typical aureola around, so where you can see all the typical type of things that you can see different glossiness on top. And I don't know if these things are like the paint chip is done in purpose or if it's coming with the decal, but it makes it look much more integrated on all the paint job. So yeah, you can see, and then there is a glowing of the vision systems inside of the head of the Titan. So nice work, and I think this is I don't know exactly the size, but I think this is the size of Advent, more or less, if I'm not wrong. So nicely done. I think it's worth it to spend some time looking at this paint job as well. So yeah, we have the first comment. Hi, Sponge Hammer. Thanks a lot for watching. So yeah, let's go to the next one. And we have more from Erzan Giovanni. Just said he's doing a lot. And here we have 2 Warhounds, 2 Rivers, and 1 Warlord. So this is the Titan Maniple Mortis Legion. So I think maybe this one is the first. I think we have seen this separately, but here we have them all together. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Erzan, but I think you put them, though you show in case them all together, you show them separately before, I think. So this is the Warlord, you can see. And the important thing here is you don't need to paint them all the same. So you're just switching colors, okay? You keep the cohesion and you keep the color scheme. So I think it's what I like. So each Titan have to be different from my point of view, but you want to keep the theme of the army. So the way to do it is to play where you put the black and red in that case, okay? You also can paint. It's a way I like to play when you do this type of vehicles. I like to personalize each of them. So you see again, we have a small weathering here and there, but they look quite in good state. Okay, and he look imposing as well. So here we see, nicely done, very nicely. So really, he's doing a great job on that. And the other thing that this type of vehicles can be a little bit of pain, you have a lot of metallics here. So you have to play a lot with the highlights and shades to give volume, because all this can be quite boring if you don't work this well. Okay, and this is also happening when you're painting Imperial Knights for Warhammer 40K. So you have a lot of metal at the back. And I realized that you have to pay some attention. So here we have the two Warhounds. As I said, they look from the same squad or from the same army, but they look different at the same time. So even if they will have the same weapons, they will look different. Again, you can see the workshop is also playing with the ornaments. So this have this Eye of Horus, and the other one does not. Okay, so see, nicely done. Again, the hulls very well integrated. So you can see adjusting the weathering here. The weathering is on greyish. Okay, because if you do black spots, of course you will not see it on black. So the weathering have to be adjusted as well to the color. And nicely dusting done on the feet. Looks like they are working on a type of a lunar type of surface. So nice maniple of Titans. Go faster. So, but this is really nice, and to spend some time watching them. So let's go to the next one. I was reading the message here from Robotech Junkie. He's in the chat and he's saying, it took me 3 weeks or more to paint the Titan for my friend. So I guess these are quite big, especially the Warlord Titans. So here we have from Austin Logato, we have some what's called these hybrids from these I think are neophyte hybrids. They look like neophyte hybrids from the Genestealer cult with grenade launchers. They have quite a classic color. They have this orange. They have the blue. It seems that the blue have a type of camouflage pattern. Then they have this skin. What is nicely done in the skin is that you have this purplish or pinkish colors that works very well on the skin of the hybrids in the Genestealer cult. Okay, the thing I will advise is I recommend on this, especially on these weapons that are have the cannon super big, is to drill a hole a little bit. It helps a lot to sell that is a weapon. So I normally on these weapons I try to drill a hole if it's possible. Another interesting thing, you see the eye looks yellow there. The orange is very vibrant and gives a lot of life and is contrasting very well with the armor color. This is more bone color, sorry. That. Here we see, and then the only feedback I will say is that the paint on the armor looks a little bit thick. I don't know which type of paint, but maybe you should, or maybe it's the picture because it's very close, but you should most likely need to thin a little bit the paint that you're using for the caparas. But all in all, it looks quite nice, and I think it looks very creepy. I think they are very creepy. I think he was sharing the paints he was using, and I guess he's using this Osvati Bond and Tamiya for the body. I don't know if he's using some of these. I don't know these ones there at the back. But yeah, this you can see you can paint using colors from any type of brand here. So it's using paint from any type of brand. Okay, so but they look quite nice, and I think they look once you have the unit, they will look great. So let's go to the next one. Thanks for sharing, Austin Logato. We have more Titans from Erzan Jovanovic. He did a lot. These are Imperial Knights. Again, what I was explaining, they all look from the same squad, from the same army, but each one of them have their own personality. This check here, this check pattern, this is very difficult to do normally. And to have a check pattern of this size so clean is not easy. So you really are pushing a lot your skills here. I think as well the shading and all the highlights. This combination of color looks very, very, very nice. This bone, browny bone color or ochre color, it looks very nice with the black contrasting. Here we see the back again. This is what I was explaining. On this small, maybe can look, it's not that difficult, but when you're doing a Titan, a big one, all this is also metallic, right? So when you do a big Titan, a big Knight for Warhammer 40K, you have to think a lot how you will do all this part. Sorry. If not, will look can look a little bit boring. The only thing for me, and it is a personal taste, I will have not done the tubes in purple. Maybe I will have done them in black or something like that. It's something that a lot of people like to put color on the tubes, not on the cables. Normally prefer to go more discreet on these things. This is a personal taste. So anyway, this is very well painted. Look, I think this is a freehand here. Okay, the weathering, it's very nicely weathered, so it looks weathered, but does not look ugly, or does not look, how I would say, does not look dirty. So it's weathered means does not mean dirty. Okay, you have to place the weathering in the right spots. Nicely done. So this is really nice. I don't know if this, I'm wondering if this is a decal or it's a freehand. This is a decal for sure. This is also. So here we have, so this is a Paladin one. This is a Gatling, I think, and this is the Errant. So here we have the three different Imperial Knights together. And here we go from Mario Murray. We have this boost, and I think it's a very nice one. The hair really nicely done, and you can see that Facebook is recognizing this as a face because it's asking me to put a name there. I will not put a name because I don't know her, to be fair. I like a lot the corset. I like what you did, this pattern you have done here. I think looks really nice. I will say, I will add maybe the skin looks very thin and very nicely done. Maybe you can add a little bit of shading. The other thing I will recommend is the skin looks for me too matte. Okay, the skin is a little bit satin, and this is the tricky part. Maybe you can add a little bit of very thin, a little bit of satin varnish to give more life to the skin, because it looks a little bit flat, and I think it looks flat because it's very matte at the same time. And compared to the other things, how you give a lot of richness. This hair is looking very rich, very nicely done, very lifeful, right? So maybe on the skin, if you maybe just putting a little bit of satin varnish will help you a lot. It's difficult, especially woman skin is quite tricky because you want to be smooth, thin, nice, and you need to avoid to have any chunky or very difficult deep shades sometimes. So I know it's a challenge to do that. And then he chose a black jacket that is also a challenge to do. And I think on the black jacket you did a good job. And again, overall, it's a very nice job. It looks great. And I think it's a very interesting thing to show. Here you see the back. Is what I said. This is for me the best part of these miniatures is the hair. The hair is really nicely done. So you bring a lot of life to this hair. It looks natural orange or ginger hair, and I think looks really awesome. I like a lot the jacket as well. I think the highlights are very nicely done. It's black, and it's one of the toughest things to do. That is a black piece of clothes. Okay, and the corset also a very nice detail to do all this pattern on the corset. So really nice. And then we have here all these magic things, and these are the endless spells from the malign malign magic or malign sorcery. Malign sorcery is called. And we have some very nice details. I like a lot the green here. I love that. And I know that normal, and I like a lot the palisade. I think you really nail it there. So very nice painted. Then we have the new goblin, the new character from the goblins. I don't remember the name of this guy. It's quite, yeah, it looks nice, yellow. So it's really nice painted. I'm not sure about the blue, but I guess it's, but yeah, it's mainly for my taste. But I think it's looking really nice. I love this guy. I think it's a great miniature, and you did a very nice job here. Let me go back to the only thing I will be cautious when you do these characters. I think this I don't know if this is a joint of two parts. Looks like. I have the same problem, so I have to confess that I do the same mistake sometimes. But I think you should put some good stuff here, and some of these highlights are very noticeable. I guess on real life, this is one thing that also happens a lot with when you do pictures. Okay, you see here that you clearly he make a edge highlight on this hole, right? And looks very evident here. When you look a lot of these miniatures in real life, this is not as evident as looks in this picture. Okay, so normally when you make pictures, some of these things pop up more than what you see in real life. Curious to understand why. I guess it's the camera and the sensors, how they do the contrast color. But most of the time, all these edge highlights are more evident and more strong on camera than in real life. But I see that, yeah, you do. I think you did a very nice job and looks great. Okay, I love this goblin. The eye nicely done, very clean. Everything is very clean. All the colors well spotted. So really, really, really nice. And I love that you have shared so a variety of miniatures. Thanks a lot for sharing, Mario. Let's go to the next one. And this is from Ezdan Jovanovic, and he's changed it from the knights to some squeaks and goblins. I think you went for a take of glossy squeaks, like if it's they're whitey or they have a glossy skin, something like that, like frogs, like the frogs, or like some amphibious animals. I think it's a very nice take, and they look more scary. I think with that they look a little bit leathery as well. So quite interesting take. The goblins are also nicely painted, and I like this one with the mushroom on top in front. So here we have the two goblins. Again, nice highlight on the skin, and red eyes, as the goblins have to have. The armor is nicely rusted. I think they look all in all quite nice. Okay. So very nicely done. The black, maybe the black. I don't know if this is a commission as well, and what is because normally also if it's a commission, you have to take into account that he's painting depending on the level he's asked for. But I think, yeah, if I'm receiving that as a paint job, I will be very happy because it's nicely done, all colors well done, and I guess this is like a tabletop level or a little bit better. It's better than a tabletop, to be fair. I think it looks great. But knowing Ezdan, he will tell me that he's tabletop level more or less. So, but I think it's a very nice job on these goblins. And here we have and I love these squeaks. Okay, you see the eyes were painted, the lips nicely, this nicely purple on the lips, and then the teeth and all very well done. Here is darker. So they look really scary. The teeth very nicely detailed here with all the striations, all the only thing is the eyes, they don't look, maybe adding white, a little bit white on the bigger ones. I know these eyes, for example, here you cannot do, but these that are a little bit bigger, maybe you can add a little bit of white. But to be fair, very nicely done. And they look really nice and funny, these squeaks. And we have to take into account that these are small miniatures, right? These miniatures here are maybe these are very magnified in these pictures. So these are other thing we have to take into account when we see pictures in internet. So sometimes the miniature is very magnified, and most of the details we see in the picture are not visible in real life because you don't see this as big as you can see here in the screen. Okay, it's like if you look in them with a magnifier glass most of the time. So the squeak, more or less, here we can see why my screen will be the real size. So they are like a ½ inch tall, more or less. So you can imagine they are shorter than the goblins, right? So the goblins are quite short, and they are shorter than the goblins, so they are quite small. And I know because I paint the ones that are coming for Nightbolt, the warband for the Warhammer Underworlds. Here we have, again, from Erdan Jovanovic, he's using here, I guess, a lot of airbrush. And to do this nice piece of terrain, and I think this piece of terrain for the Adeptus Titanicus. I guess it's for Adeptus Titanicus for the size. Okay, so nicely done. Again, you see that with the airbrush is a great tool to do all this type of gradients and details, and then with the brush you finalize. But the paneling here, it's very fast with airbrush normally. Okay, but even though if it's done with airbrush, it's not that say it's just for me the airbrush is never cheating. So some people think that airbrush is cheating. For me, it's not the case. So I think it's another tool that we can use, and it's up to everybody if they want to use or not the airbrush. But I think it's a great tool that it allows you to do some nice effects, and allows you to do some fast paint jobs. So yeah, for me, airbrush is like if you say I don't like to use dry brush or shades. So it's another tool we have on our toolbox, and it's up to everyone if they want to use it or not. But it's looking great. So nice piece of terrain. And now we go to one primaries, and I think this is from Richard Granger. I think we only have this picture here, and here I will say the armor looks very clean, very well done, gold, nicely placed, everything. So all this, I would say, the only thing I'm not convinced, to be fair with you, is on the sword. Okay, I think you try to make here like a glowing effect or like a brightness. They are too stark. You should do a little bit of gradient there, but it's a great, I think, and I guess it's a lieutenant or a captain. I don't know anymore. I'm lost on all these primaries. But he looks great. Nice ultramarine primaries, and yeah, and the only thing I was thinking is maybe on the sword you can work a little bit more on this. I think this looks weird to me because the armor looks very clean, and here I don't see what you try to do. But that's all. So I think anyway, a nice paint job. Yeah, all people sharing videos and so on. If you want, you can join my group if you have not joined, and yeah, and I will be very happy if you want to join. Here, these are the ballista I painted for my army. Again, I know some people don't like the glowing eyes. I started with that when they were all the Stormcast Eternal has helmet. No, that they don't have helmet. I don't. Yeah, sometimes without helmet it's not looking as I wanted, but I will keep the glowing eyes anyway for all of them. So yeah, this thing is too evident for me, but this was quite a fast paint job to have it ready for a tournament. So I wanted to go for wood looking on the ballista and then gold for the ornaments. And yeah, and the typical green armor with purple. A lot of edge highlighting. I try to be soft as I can. Sometimes I succeed better than others. But I think it looks, you see, I did a lot of edge highlighting, and then this was very fun to paint this thing. So these are quite nice. I have to paint another crew because I want to have 2 ballistas for my gaming. And yeah, and I think this is, but the ballista was painted quite fast. Okay, not much to say here. So let's go up, and then I paint the Lord Ordinator that goes with the ballista. Here, the only thing that for me, the Lord Ordinator, I try to do more rowing parts here, this thing, and this time, since that he's looking the watch. These are interesting miniatures to paint. Again, I think I assembled this before painting. There are parts that are difficult to reach. But yeah, this was quite fast paint job. Try to have it ready for the tournament. And we go more from Agustin Logato. Here we have more of the neophyte hybrids from the Genestealer cult. Yeah, he's telling me about I see the comment about the movement tree. The movement tree from the ballista, you can find it in the Element games. I bought there. And when I saw that, I thought that this was a very nice thing to put. So maybe sometimes it's not as flexible as you would like it in the tournaments, but yeah, I think it's convenient and I like it because at the end they should have made this together as one in one base, because the profile and everything, they have no double profile for crew and the machine, so they should have put them all in just one base. So let's go back here. We have this neophytes from Agustin Logato. Again, we have the same as we have seen before. The thing here, the armor looks much cleaner. I think I gave the feedback to him that in the previous ones that it was looking a little bit thick, the paint on the armor, and in these ones you can see that it looks much thinner. It's farther, so it's more difficult to appreciate, but it looks, again, the orange nicely done. I think the orange looks great. Yeah, it's a classical color scheme, but I think it works very well, and it's quite nicely executed. Yellow eyes with a little bit of we can see that he's going for yellow eyes. Yellow eyes are, yeah, look scary, but the problem I see is that they are difficult to contrast against the skin, right? But it's a challenge. But yeah, by background they have to be yellow. This is a challenge that you have when you paint them. The way to make glow a little bit more or make them more visible is really here. They are a little bit more visible because the area around the eye is darker. Okay, so you do very dark around the eye, and then you put the yellow in the eye itself. The way to make them pop up a little bit more. But I think he's doing a very nice job here. They look great. The weapons look rusted. And yeah, we have all these symbols and all these type of things from the Genestealer cult. So nice neophytes. Let's keep going up. Yeah, we see another share. Yeah, in case you want to vote for my next tutorial, you can also come. So these are the 3 options, and the winner will be the one tutorial we'll do for the month of March. Okay, and then I think this is the last thing, or maybe there is more. So this is one of the warbands from Warhammer Underworlds. This is the Moloch's Mop. I think it's one of the most interesting warbands there, because you have 4 different miniatures that are completely different. So you have the Troll, you have this nice mushroom, little mushroom, you have a Squeak, bad Squeak, and then you have the Stalagmite, or the Stalagmite, how it's called, okay? So this Troll, it was very interesting. I wanted to go, I know that some people go more crazy with the mushrooms. I wanted to go more earthy. I wanted to keep the colors more earthy and more discreet, and just working on to make the skin on this bluish color. I wanted to have it ready for last Friday because I wanted to play them to see how they work, and to be fair, they work quite well. So I'm quite happy how it looks like. I think here in the pictures, I think it looks better in real life than in the pictures. The Squeak Bat, it's a nice miniature. Again, here is a lot of magnified. Okay, and I did the same mistake as Erdan, just yellow. I have not add more colors on the eye. This is the mushroom. Also a very curious take, another curious thing to paint. I went for a brown mushroom with whitish feet. And then the Stalagmite, and here I did as well the mistake I was mentioned before. This is the joint of the miniature. I just clip it, and yeah, you should put even stuff here. But it's this is very, very, very magnified. This miniature is really small. Okay, and you see here them all. Okay, so it's a nice band to paint, and yeah, and if you're in Shadespire, I recommend, because it gives a lot of variety and give a excuse to paint something really different. And yeah, this is another nicely yellow or Bad Moon Clan machine. So I don't know what's that, to be fair. Looks like a bunch of goblins with a very scary cannon. I don't know if this will even work, but it looks really nice. I don't know if, yeah, to be fair, I don't know what I'm watching. So, yes, these are cannons with the crew, 2 different cannons. The yellow is for me the best part of these paint jobs as well on this guy that is having the soldering mask. Okay. And I guess he's carrying the reel of the wire reel. So yeah, you have them, and this is also carrying a wire there. So yeah, it looks quite scary. I'm wondering how reliable is this machine, but I think you have done a very good job. I like, and to be fair, my favorite part is the yellow and the greens, because you do so excellent job on the yellows that it's I have the feeling sometimes it's a different level. When the advantage of the yellow, a lot of people say that yellow is a color that is a pain to do. I think within the new yellows are much better. They have much better covering. But for me, the big advantage of the yellow as a color is that it's very nice. The weathering looks very nice on yellow. So it's a color that if you can apply a nice thin layer like he did here, then the weathering works super well on top of yellow. Okay, it's a color that can be difficult to use, but once you know how to do it, it's also a color that it's very nice and it's very rewarding when painting, because you see the weathering looks nicely on that. While doing weathering on other colors can be a challenge. For example, doing weathering on black is more difficult, right? Because you cannot do the black spots on black. It's not visible, so you only can do chipping on black. Okay, the white is another color that is very nice for weathering, right? It's difficult to apply, but the yellow really, and red. It's also have if you do all these type of things on red, most of them will not be visible, or will not have the nice contrast that you have on yellow. So this way, I say yellow maybe can be difficult at the beginning to master, but once you know how to apply yellow, it's a very rewarding color. So it's a color that pops up a lot the miniatures. The green is also very well done, and also I like the white t-shirts or shirts. Okay, you see, and I don't know, this is with right there, and then yeah, they look great. They look great. I think we're looking great. Paint job. And I think that's all for this month, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, that's all. We are at the top. So let me go back to, let's go back to me. So I stop sharing my screen, and here I'm back. So I hope you have liked that. I will just make a look here. I think I put my cell phone this time to look at the chat. Okay, so, but I hope you have liked this sharing, and yeah, I don't see any question on the chat, so I guess there is no more questions. But if you want to participate, because if you want to participate on this sharing minis, if you want to participate and sharing your minis on the Facebook group, remember you can do it in the Facebook group that I just shared on during this video. It's called Miniatures Victor's Miniature Painting Workshop. Okay, if you look for Victor's Miniature, you should find it. And if you are watching this video, it's in the link in the description below. And if you have any problem, just message me and I will give you access to this. I will send you the links. So we are not a big group. We are just 184 members at this moment. But the idea here is really that to share and to create a little bit more of community, and it's really a way. It's a way for me to share what the people is painting, and do a little bit of tribute to the viewers and of my channel, and also the other people that is painting. So that's all for now. Thanks a lot for the people that is watching this in live, and thanks a lot for the people that will watch it later. I really appreciate. Thanks a lot for the people that is sharing the miniatures in the Facebook group. Without that, this video will not be possible. And I hope to do another great video, another great sharing in the next month. That's all for now. As usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.